you want to do the seven spiritual markers?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Peace and blessings. This is Sister Raheem, Director Raheemah Raheem of Tulsa, Oklahoma, representing the state of Oklahoma for now. And we are on the Black Wall Street, USA, Oklahoma Zoom call for Sunday. And let me say this in the beginning, just in case someone leaves before then. We're going to change the time. Ms. Moreland, would you give us the exact change we're changing back to?
Sure. The Black Wall Street USA website has us down at 6 o'clock on Sundays.
So we want to stick with whatever's on the website. Okay, thank you very much. We just had a change because our chief host, Dr. Little, had another engagement, and we couldn't get on until 8:30. But I didn't know wasn't supposed to be permanent. It was just for that one time. So basically, we will be starting from now on at 6 p.m. And if I forget, somebody please remind those at the end, just in case they have forgotten.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll open up with prayer, and I would ask Ms. Moreland to please open us up with prayer.
Okay. Oh, most gracious and Heavenly Father, thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon us. Thank you for our comings and our going. Thank you for giving us another chance to do it right. Thank you, God, for blessing Black Wall Street. What we're talking about today, Mother Raheemah and Karen, and also Dr. Little, and help us to do your will and help with other people in the Trail of Tears event that is coming up. In the name of Jesus, we pray with much love and thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Karen Reese, would you share the 7 spiritual markers with us?
Okay. The Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of wisdom, the Spirit of knowledge, the Spirit of understanding, the Spirit of the fear of the Lord, the Spirit of power, and for some reason I just forgot the last one.
Well, the last one is the fear of the Lord, and the other one is the spirit of counsel. Remember, COUNCIL?
Okay.
Right, the spirit of counsel. Thank you very much for that.
Mm-hmm.
We have been asked by Dr. Carter to learn those. He's also given us some 7 steps from, well, I have some notes on that, but so we're supposed to be familiar with those as well. So we're just.
Yeah, I normally can say them right off. It's just when you ask me, my mind went blank because I normally say them all the time.
Oh, that's good. You practice a lot. That's good. Well, it's that time of night. It's not an easy time for me. I don't know. My brain breaks down apart or breaks apart sometimes at the end after getting up 3 o'clock in the morning, all that good stuff for prayer. Thank you very much for that. And so I guess the first thing we want to do is kind of introduce anyone on the line who has a particular business they'd like to share with the community. If you have one that can or will tie into the Trail of Tears, we would appreciate that. So is there anybody who wants to start? Or let me start. I'm Director Raheemah Raheem in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the business that I would like to highlight is the Mentoring Clinic, KLINIC, because we don't have a licensed clinician. The Mentoring Clinic is designed to enhance the lifestyle of young men between the ages of 12 and 22. For the Trail of Tears event, we will hope that we will get more boys to participate and become, during the Trail of Tears, tourists to help people to assist folks in getting around in North Tulsa. Somebody might need somebody to push their wheelchair across the street, or just trying to find out where we are in proximity to Greenwood, or where's the child station, care station, or where's the emergency health station. So we want the young men to use this opportunity to enhance their life and their lifestyle. Thanks for letting me share. Does anyone else want to share a business?
I'll share my business. This is Karen Reese. I'm the filmmaker for the Greenwood Avenue Project documentary. It is based on the aftermath of what happened in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The movie is right now streaming on all platforms where you can go and watch it, or you can share about it. Uh, and so I hope to be able to document this experience, the Trail of Tears experience, and in order for other people to see the history of what we're going to learn from by re-walking the steps of the Trail of Tears.
Thank you very much for that. We look forward to that, especially in Tulsa, Oklahoma, during our Memorial Day weekend. Anyone else?
I'll go. This is Dr. Janice Little with the Graduate's Gift LLC. It is a real estate management company that provides support services to graduates and young entrepreneurs. We provide support services in the space of education, giving them access to resources, learning and earning opportunities, trading, digital marketing, and AI technology are the resources that we share to enhance their educational experience. We are the Graduate's Gift LLC.
Thank you very much for that, Dr. Little. We look forward to working with you in this neck of the woods. Anyone else?
Cece, I'm just acting as the marketing coordinator for the Trail of Tears. Looking forward to jumping in on all of the Zoom meetings.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah, that would be
ma'am.
great. And in that light, I'd like to, for those who may not know much of anything about the Trail of Tears, but are willing to do a part and participate in some form or another, um, as our event planner, Ms. Moreland will expect to hear from everyone who has who takes a role or wants to do a role, don't know what they want to do, but want to do something, and then you can connect with her. Basically, the Trail of Tears is it's not exactly a reenactment. There are reenactments that have been done about the trail, but ours is just a revisiting. We're going to be, I guess, about as involved as an actor would be involved by jumping on a bus or in a car, in a van, or on a bike, and rolling out from the east going west to Indian Territory. That was set up, that always was Indian Territory. It's just when the government got involved, they wanted to move as many of the Native Americans as they could from the east to west of the Mississippi. And so I guess I heard or I read that one of the excuses somebody used was that there was gold in Florida, so they wanted to get all the indigenous people off the land so that they could start digging for gold. However, they found very little gold. Of course, they found very little gold in Florida. So that was the beginning of the plan to the Indian Removal Act of 1803 that was set up by President Andrew Jackson. He had the reputation of being called Stonewall Jackson because he didn't change his mind about much of anything. But he was on a pattern. He just stayed on that pattern. So his determination was to get all the Indians east of the Mississippi out to the west of the Mississippi. And that was the reason for the Trail of Tears. A lot of people had intermarried with them, people of color, melanated people had married with the indigenous people, and so there were whole families moving from the east toward the west. Any other comments on that or corrections on that? Okay.
No.
Nope.
Okay, thank you. And so we'd like to ask, is there anyone on the line who has made any kind of has made any progress in what they were planning on doing with this, with the Trail of Tears?
I will comment. I got the email uh, of some notes that you have written down of some things that you needed. Intro letter, a letter to investors or funders. You
Right.
needed a letters to the locals, and then you kind of identified some things that could happen once we get to Tulsa. And so I've created those letters, and I can send them to you in an email if you would like to proofread them and tell me where you want to, if there's anything you want to change.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So anyone who's interested in donating or in any way sharing any kind of anything that you have. For example, you might have access to some tents, or you may have access to some some paper or a printing press where we can get some of this information printed off. Or you may have information about a Black bus service. Our intention is to use as many Black businesses as we can for this project. So we're looking for Black bus companies, and one of the one of one of the things, I guess Dr. Little will talk about the survey, but one of the things that we need to work on is the food. Where are we going? How are we going to? What's the budget going to be for the food? So, oh well. So we were supposed to. Yeah, I forgot. Mr. Anthony White was supposed to call me yesterday. I don't think I heard from him. We need to set up a budget as to exactly what our goal is, a fundraiser, so we can reach the goal to get the swarms of money that we need. And another thing that I forgot to include on that list, Ms. Reese, is tarp. We definitely going to need some tarp to do some covering up. Um, if we are camping out, it might be that the grounds, I don't know what the weather will be like in the merry month of May. It's usually not cold, but the ground might be damp, and we might need to have tarp to put up under, to lie out on, if for those who want to go camping. You can bring your own camping equipment, um, but our plan is to have like three great big um, tents where we can have a tent for all girls tent and all men's tent and a family tent where the families can be together under one tent, and girls and women can be up on another tent, and men and boys can be up under another tent in the evenings. Now I don't know if we can still use those, we'll be able to use those tents for daytime activities, or I'll say evening activities, because the plan is to have the morning times or the daytime a time to learn and to search and to pursue and to understand what what is going on, what has transpired, and how we can take what has transpired and use it to our advantage today to circumvent some of the loopholes, some of the potholes that our and our ancestors before us had to experience before they could get where they wanted to get. So we want to be sure that we cover as much information as we can during the day. Of course, in the evening, we want to relax a little bit, and we'll have fun things going on. There are plans for a couple of powwows, local powwows, plans for some kind of entertainment. We'd like for our children who have any kind of skills, maybe somebody plays the violin, maybe somebody wants to start a, an electric slide or a dance, or wear them fans that dance or whatever. We want to just have, we plan to have a ball game. Mr. Lawrence Freeman, if he gets on, he'll talk about that a little bit. Back in the day, our communities, one of the major forms of entertainment was watching a ball game, a baseball game. So we're planning on having what they call a sandlot baseball game. Before it got such a big thing with all the big salaries and all the what do you call it, marginalization that went along with it. The men were able to move however, whatever town they wanted to move, whenever they wanted to move, do whatever they wanted to do. But our ball players today, there are a lot of limits. You might see the money, but you don't see all the limitations that are addressed upon them, and they're not able to do what they want to do the way they would really like to do it. So we want to kind of reintroduce that, how our grandparents, how much fun they had just going out enjoying a ball game. So and then we'll probably have other kinds of games. It just depends on how much funding we have. Okay, so that's the day and the evening time. Any other? Oh, and another group, and we want to have a way of clocking our funds. So every time a donation comes in, we are able to clock it and show you how we're moving with our goal, toward our goal. And we also want to find a way, if anybody can think of a way, that we can kind of have a station where we can print our own money, and then you use that money in North Tulsa to buy whatever you need to buy. So that's another reason why we need to get the local stores engaged in what we're trying to do. Any questions? Any comments?
Yeah. What do you mean by printing your own money?
I knew that draw some attention. The same way, when you have a classroom and you're trying to teach children how to count money, we would just have kind of money like that.
Fake money?
What kind of money?
Fake.
Oh,
fake.
you would call it fake, but it's not. Well, I guess you could say fake. It wouldn't be, because we want the people. We want them to get the mindset of my own money from my own bank. And so we want to have like a station where they can maybe put in green cash, and then we'll give them this money, and at the end, when they get ready to cash in, if they have any left over, they can cash it in and get their green money back, or shall we say, their coins back, or their silver back. So we like to do that. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. It depends on your creativity, how we can make this happen. We just want the people to get the mindset, instead of having a picture of a Benjamin or a Washington or a Lincoln on a bill, that we would have something else on the bill.
Okay, that'd be very interesting.
Yes.
Can you go and explain tell me all, because I'm writing this down when you're
Okay.
giving me the different topics, but can you explain to me the different people that you have talked to? Because sometimes you'll talk about you've contacted somebody in the Southwest region and in the different
Okay.
region. Can you start giving me names of people that have said they're going to be, that have contacted you and wanted to be a part of it?
Okay. Okay. That's a good point. Let's do it like this. Our intention is to concentrate on two main areas. Number one, the trail, and number 2, the Trail of Tears 2, and number 2, the Black Wall Street Massacre of 1921, which now we called it, Centennial 21 in 2021. Now we call it Centennial 5 in Centennial 4 in 2020. It'll be Centennial 5 in 2026. And so the plan is to make sure that everyone understands what the trail was all about, as well as understanding what the reasons why and the aftermath, which brings in Miss Reese's film, the Greenwood Project, the aftermath of what happened when they tried to rebuild. So this is history that all of our people need to know. Number one, the second thing they need to know is how can this history benefit them today in their neighborhood. So the plan is to get a group of people, and what we're talking about now is what's going to be happening in North Tulsa, not South Tulsa, West Tulsa, downtown, in North Tulsa. So we're asking everyone west of the Mississippi in the regions participate in helping to build up North Tulsa to satisfy our wisdom, our knowledge, and our understanding of what happened in the past, and how we can benefit from that knowledge in the present and use it further on in the future. So that's how we continue this is a movement to advance, enhance our knowledge, and elevate our families, our communities with the knowledge that we earn, that we gain. And so everyone, it looks like, from what I can see, and after talking with Dr. Carter a little bit, it looks like the only region west of the Mississippi that would be actively involved in this would be the central region, where we are from Tulsa down to Louisiana, Mississippi. And so that would also include Texas. And so everyone in those areas, in those states, we would ask, in the southeast, south central region, we would ask that you help as much as you can in the setting up of North Tulsa to become a place where people can learn. So if that means you're presenting a film, if you're delivering a lecture, if you're taking care of some babies, if you're helping the teenagers to get on their posts with the tours, if you're helping the elderly to get around, if you're making arrangements for materials to be come in, if you're helping with the cooking, whatever it is we need, we would ask that that you participate and share your ideas and your thoughts, and just let us know, those of us who are on the line, if you know Ms. Karen Reeves, if you know Dr. Little, if you know Ms. Moreland, Cece Moreland, who is our project manager. So let me know what you would like to do, or question. I think I'd like to do some painting. I mean, that's my passion, but I don't really know what to do. And so then we would kind of help you out with that. How would you like to teach some little young people how to paint? Or we need some signs, and would you help us to create those signs? So whatever your passion is, we want people to kind of stay with whatever their talent is or whatever their passion is, unless you have time to learn a new skill or something, because we just want to make it easy on you, because we are people with a lot of problems. This world does not make it easy for us to have a vacation time where we don't have to deal with some kind of emergency or issue or helping somebody. So we want you to have as much the time to do whatever you can do, because we want you to be able to do it well. So we don't particularly want anybody taking on anything new unless it's something they're really, really interested in learning how to do. So when you talk about, like I said, when you talk about those of you west of the Mississippi are relatively close to Tulsa compared to the other states. And from what I hear, most of the people in this area will be traveling on buses. Speaking of buses, we want to make sure the buses, because the last black-owned bus I was on, it barely had I don't know if it even had a bottom part. But we need to have a part where we can bring our, if we plan to do some vending, to bring our vending tables or bring our chairs or bring our umbrellas, whatever gear we want to bring, strollers, uh, a scooter, a bike, we want to make sure that the bus has a bottom in it where we can, put some things that we would need. So we want to make sure that the buses, will be able to accommodate us. And so what we will need at the next meeting is the name of all the bus companies, the black-owned bus companies in these areas that Ms. Moreland can contact, or either Mr. Freeman and Mr. Freeman can contact to see, what their fee is and what they need to know. Now, that's not going to work too well if we don't have some basic information to give the bus drivers. That's why everybody on this line, it's extremely important that your first line of participation is answering the survey. How are you going to get here? What do you expect? We need that, because the buses can't give us a price if we don't know how many people are coming, or a ballpark figure of how many people are coming, or how you plan to get here. Maybe somebody, I want to ride, I'm going to fly, and are you going back on the bus? Some people may have to hurry back. We have to take into consideration that this is happening. Half of the country will probably still be in school, in the elementary and high school. The children will probably still be in school. And some of them may be able to come at the end of May, but have to go back for June graduation or whatever. So they may have to fly back. So we need to know exactly how you plan to get here, if you plan on coming. If you cannot make it, that is not a big deal. You can still help. You can still participate. Just let us know. I won't be here, but how can I help? So, so make sure that the survey, I think, Miss Reese, did you just explain to us where the survey?
No, I didn't explain anything about the survey.
Okay,
I
Dr. Little,
think
somebody,
Dr. Little sent it out.
right?
Go ahead, Dr. Little.
Yes, the survey was sent out. I sent it to a few people that were on my email list, my personal email list, that I knew were members of Black Wall Street, just so that they could test the survey. And so far we only have like 5 responses so far. Now I sent it to the web team to distribute to the entire list of Black Wall Street, but I haven't heard anything and I haven't seen it come through yet. I'll follow up on Monday with the call on Monday to encourage them to send it out, and to encourage people to check their promotional email to look for the survey, because it may be going to their promotional email if they're not getting it.
Very good.
So Dr. Little, did you send it to me, or did you're sending it through the web?
I sent it to you, one of your email. Let me check and I can tell you exactly which one I sent it to.
And anybody who sent anything out should go to Ms. Moreland and to me to make sure that it's moving.
Yes, well, you did test it, Sister Raheemah, so
Well, I'm
it's
talking about for the one that the the web team puts out.
Yeah, it should go to everybody if the web team, including myself.
Right, right.
So which email did you use?
Hold on, let me see. Let me take a look.
I'll look at.
And while you're looking, I just want to say, and if you want to respond to anything or question anything on the email,
It's Seymour Tiny Homes at Gmail. It's what I have on file.
Okay, checking now. Thanks.
Okay.
okay, thank you for that. Okay, any other questions?
Well, I can give you like a little synopsis of how the 5 people have responded so far to the survey. If you want to take a look at that, here, that data.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me let this Lorna. Hold on.
That sounds like Dr. Cooper from Florida.
Okay, Schufer? Yeah. Okay. So here we've added basically on the survey what they all want to participate in the Trail of Tears tour. There were 3 out of 5 that are planning to do the full tour. 2 that were going to be participating in Oklahoma only. No, that's 1 Oklahoma only. And the other one is a partial tour, which is like 3-day partial tour. Look at the number of days to commit to it. 2 people said 7 days. 2 people said 3 days, and 1 person said 5 days. What type of tour do you prefer? 3 out of the 5 prefer a group guided tour, and 2, it doesn't matter. What type of transportation you prefer for this tour? There were 4 bus transportation, 1 round trip bus. Then it was other, no response, it's just other. And that's the person from California, so I'm assuming that's the flight. Are there any special accommodations you may need during the tour? No one needs special accommodation. Which content is the most important to you to be included in the educational material? The historical facts and figures, there were 2 responses that preferred that, and 2 preferred personal stories and testimonials, and 1 preferred maps and visual aids. Next, what type of amenities are most important to you during the tour? Accessible facilities was 1. Cultural performances, 2 people preferred that, and 1 for water, and the other one camping. Next, what would you be interested in receiving educational material before, during, or after the tour? 3 prefer receiving it during the tour. 2 prefer before the tour. Do you have any suggestions or specific expectation for this tour? 1 said the food and rest is convenient. 1 said, I expect to see the effort focus only on the history of this project. 1 said, other, how you would be returning home, same method. And then no expectations. 1 expect to meet an Indian on the tour. Next, it says, what would make your experience more meaningful or impactful? They put the bus is comfortable. To find out the key players of the history of Black Wall Street and forefathers. Heart King, thanks much. The other one is no response. If I Meet the Indian was the most meaningful and impactful. And that was it. That was the survey data that we have so far. So the transportation that they are is the bus is the one that's most likely to be coming in on buses
Okay.
based on this data. And remember, this is just like the pilot that
Right.
we have this here so far.
Right. Well, thank you for going over that, because folk who are listening, it'll give them an opportunity to go through the survey like really, really fast, realizing it's not going to take them a lot of time. As far as, I don't think the survey mentions the different forms of lodging that we will have in North Tulsa. I think that's something everyone needs to know. That's why there are other things we don't want to put on the tour. That's just basic information, but we want to let people know that there are Airbnbs, really nice. I think Dr. Little can vouch for them. Um, there is the Casino Hotel, which is in North Tulsa, and it has 141 um, uh, and I won't say beds, 141, I'll say rooms. I don't know if that's the right word, but there are 40 accommodations. Accommodations would be 141. And if we get enough of a response, we could probably block off 100 of those rooms. Um, I don't know how you do that. I mean, somebody may have experience with this. I don't know how you do it you get a discount. If you do it as a group, you get a bigger discount. If you do it individually, which most people can do if they so choose. The camping would be fun for the young people. They might want to camp out, and then some people might just want to be out, under the stars. Uh, in that case, you're going to need to bring some camping gear, like quilts and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why we're going to need a bus that will accommodate, whatever it is you're bringing. And if you're, of course, if you're driving your own car, you have all you need in the car. Uh, we're going to have porta pots and probably a shower stall attached to each one of the groups, with the males, females, family, um, shower stalls, um, and of course porta pots, um, and tarp to be able to weather, even the storm if it comes. Um, so the lodging includes a hotel, Airbnb, and camping. So we that's something we're going to need to know, and that'll be a part of the packet that you will get. So we do have to design a packet. uh I think I'm I don't know, Miss Moreland, have you ever done a packet before? I think Miss um the sister Aziza in she's on the East Coast. I think it's North Carolina. um she will be she might be instrumental in helping with that. She and her family, I think, are certainly going to be interested in helping to design the packet, because we want the packet to reflect um, the interests of our young people. And Miss Aziza and her husband Akila and her 2 or 3 children, and no, 2 are teens, um, will be instrumental in putting the packet together on a level that will be easy read. Um, so we'll need in there a little bit of history, but we want to, as we go through the states, the other thing we want, for example, if you're in a state, I mean, the least you could do is to send us some information about your state as it pertains to Black hubs, a Black Wall Street in your state. That Black Wall Streets is a popular word, it's all over the place. So there are Black Wall Streets, all over the major cities. So if you have one in your state, we would like to mention that. The other thing we're going to need to find out is what fort we just might be visiting, where the travelers were held up until the Buffalo Soldiers moved them out. And then that's another part of our history, the history of the Buffalo Soldiers. We want that to be in the packet, in a part of make it like a little history book or a comic book, because the Buffalo Soldiers played a very important part, not only on this trail, but just being in existence. Some of the cowboys that we've seen on TV, the series were patterned after Black soldiers. Bass Reeves, I read, was really the Lone Ranger. They patterned the life of the Lone Ranger after Bass Reeves. Um, so there were some cowhands that were really, and Buffalo Soldiers that who were really instrumental in helping this country to open up and expand. So before I ramble on and on, are there any other questions?
Yeah, so we would probably need someone who would be strictly focusing on putting together the book. And the book will be something that will be come along in the package, as well as to be able to be given out and when we get to Tulsa. And the book, excuse me, can
Mhm.
hold all that type of history.
Right. Well, it'll be the book and the packet. So the book in the packet, we don't know what we're going to have in the packet, but we'd like to have like a map of North Tulsa, and because we want our children to learn how to read maps. And it's great to have and if you don't know how to read a map, read it with them. You know, that piques their interest in what it is you're doing. So if we have a packet and they're learning how to read a map with their parents, I mean, that's a plus. I mean, there's no, you were the first teacher, you know. And so and a lot of times parents don't want the children think they don't know, they don't know this and they don't know that. I'm working with a family from Chad who, if the mother would just work with her children instead of going to the language class to try to learn the language. I mean, she's been in the class for 4 months and took 5 minutes to write her name. I mean, that doesn't make sense. And I could teach her how to do it in one day. And they, you know, I mean, if you work with your children, you'd be amazed at how much more they will learn and you will learn, and how much more respect and interest you can get from them and get them off those media devices that are frying our brains. So we want and saying all that, I would say that our sister Azila and her husband, brother Keela, are the forerunners in helping to put, because they're the ones who do the comic books, the comic book series. And so they will be the ones who could, you know, really help to get this together. We would just need to feed them information. You know, like if you wanted a certain scene, you
Mhm.
might use the stick figures to give it to them, and they'll just put it together and make it happen. But if you've got a story, you can just, you know, write the words and whatever, and then they'll just tighten it up. We don't want them to have to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out, because they're doing other things. So, like I said, if everybody does a little bit, nobody will have to do a lot. So we just want to have we want them to design for us a comic book that will take us a, across cross country, um, and stopping it. And then we need to know what forts are we going to, what stops are we going to make in each one of these 9 states. We're not going to stop in 9 states, but we will probably drive through all 9 of them, because I don't know if we can do that in 3 days and give it justice. So we will drive through maybe a couple of states, 2 or 3 states, and then we'll stop. We'll do an overnight thing, probably at a Trail of Tears Park. Now, as far as we know, There are two. One is in the southern part of Illinois, and the other one is in Missouri, I think. So we want to stop at one of those campsites, and that has to be investigated. Somebody has to call and find out, is there a fee for being there? Are there any events going on, that will help in our understanding? Usually in those kinds of places, you know how when you go to another state and they have, what do they have, like a welcome house or something? And you can go and get information and, buy little things and stuff like that.
Like a
That's what
welcome center.
a welcome center, right?
Mhm.
So we want to be able to, I think that the Trailer Tips Park is like a welcome center. And so we'll be able to pick up some information from that. I don't know if they show films or what they do. I know they have a cute little one in Arkansas, um, and I don't remember exactly what information is in there, but it's not about the Trail Tiers. It's just a welcome center, and they have the basic information that you need about the state. So, but we want, and Mr. Freeman is our implementation administrator for Black Wall Street USA, and his goal is to go to some of these different sites and check them out. Now, around mid-August, he plans to come to Tulsa to get a feel of what to expect when they get here. But his main focus, so he will need to receive some information as well. If you have any information about different sites, for example, when we go through, let's say when we go through Tennessee, where are we going to stop in Tennessee? It might be a famous location in Tennessee, or it might be the fort where the people were picked up, or it might be another site relevant to Blacks or people of color that is of interest. For example, in Tennessee, you have like Chattanooga, Tennessee, and in Chattanooga, Tennessee, you have Lookout Mountain, which was mentioned in the Honorable Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's speech about Lookout Mountain, where you can go to the top of the mountain. I don't know how much it costs to ride up there now, but you ride up on a kind of like a wire trolley. I used to live on the side of the mountain, and get a chance to view all the states and how they were able to use that spot to make war plans. So it just depends on what part of the state you're going to stop in. And so since each one of us is in one of those states, the least we can do is gather some information and share it with someone else. Any other questions?
Can you name again the two? You said the two official Trail of Tears site. You said one is Illinois and the other one was
I think it's Missouri.
So we had talked about,
Just look up
yeah,
Trailer
Trail of
Tiers
Tears.
Park,
Well,
PARK.
Mother Raheemah and I, we kind of mapped out a few of the states, and it's not written in stone. So
Okay.
I just listed it. Number one was Augusta, Georgia. Number two, Atlanta. Number three, North Carolina. Number four, Tennessee, and then five is Kentucky, and then we were going to decide on, uh, that's Arkansas, Oklahoma, of course, would be the last one. And I know someone mentioned that they wanted us to go through Louisiana, but we were going to get
Mhm.
with the leaders, like Dr. Little, she's in Texas, and
Well,
uh,
there are towns west. When you're talking about the trail, you're just talking about the towns that are west of the Mississippi, I think.
yeah, so cities that we kind of mapped out
Right.
a little bit. Yes,
And
ma'am.
it might not. It looks like it might not be Atlanta. You mentioned Atlanta. Atlanta. We will stop in Georgia because um, that is where Mr. Freeman is. It might well be in Augusta.
Augusta. Okay, so I
So,
have Augusta as number one. Atlanta, just kind of a question mark on that one.
well, Atlanta, yeah. I think he's going to work. I think he's going to work it out in Augusta because he connected with the natives there, and and they're coming on board. So what we want to do, we want to have a really good, great, interesting start. And so that means that we're going to concentrate on the natives, the people that, were most native to the land. And Mr. Freeman, he hasn't come on yet. I don't know. Can somebody call him? Because I just talked to him about.
I'm here.
Oh, great. Well, why am I talking? You can handle this part, brother. Peace and blessings.
You're doing a good job.
So we having a kickoff with you, Mr. Freeman, and
He's arranging
Georgia?
it. No, we have the terminology. Well, this it has to do with the natives, and they have to get we've kind of gotten away from our culture, but they have to get the approval from their chiefs, ancestors, and elders, right, Mr. Freeman? So it depends.
That is correct.
Okay.
The
So, Mr.
kickoff
Freeman,
is going to be in Florida.
yeah. So, Mr.
That's
Freeman,
why I had it as like the kickoff is in Florida, but I still had us leaving from Georgia because you were still talking about Florida doing something, and so we would do something in Florida, but we would leave from Atlanta because that's not that far. It's only like 2 hours or something. Like it depends. That's how I kind of had written it out.
so I don't understand that, Karen. How are you going to leave from Florida and host something in Georgia?
So the one in Florida will be actually before we actually load the bus.
Okay, so we're loading in Florida.
You're loading in Georgia.
So you're loading in
But
Georgia.
Florida, before Sister Raheemah had been talking to someone in Florida because they wanted to do something in Florida. But this is all a tentative,
Right.
because I think some of that have changed.
Well, let's go back. In the first place, Black Wall Street USA has deemed May Global Black History Month. So that means we will be acknowledging certain things the entire month. The first thing that we're going to acknowledge, thanks to Mr. Freeman, is the powwow on May the 2nd or 3rd in South Carolina, right, Mr. Freeman?
That is correct.
For the state of North Carolina. In other words, South Carolina was not one of the pickup states, but if Florida if North Carolina wants to use that particular powwow, because they have it every year. See, what we're trying to do is engage in activities that are already established that will not cost us any money, because we already know we're not going to have a lot of money.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
No, we know we're not going to have a lot of money for a lot of the events that can be going on. We can just use somebody else's event. God willing, we'll have enough money for what we need to do. But they have an annual powwow on May the 2nd or 3rd.
So, Mother Raheemah,
yes,
can we hear from Mr. Freeman? What are some of your ideas?
Okay, this is what Mother Raheemah was talking about. We had at first, it is going to kick off from Florida. Why? Because this is what I'm gonna go ahead down the line. All right, what Mother Raheemah is talking about in May 2nd, right? I had contact with Chief Nelson, and I had merged Mother Raheemah in. So Chief Nelson, his family was Cherokee, and they from like up the upstate of South Carolina. They in South Carolina, and his ancestors, his great grandmama and them, and great great grandmama and them, was on the Trail of Tears. And so May 2nd, what they do is do a powwow. That's the time they have the drums, the war drums, and all the good dances, and the war dancing, and that they do. And what he had said, this is gonna be the warm up. This is what I was talking about to be the warm up.
Mm-hmm.
So we want people to be able to know about the Trail of Tears.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what he had said he'll do, so we bring our flyers and literature, what we got going on. He said that he was give it to the tribe and let them talk about it. And once whoever can come, who want to join us there, it's gonna be like a grand entry, like you know how you a pre. They gonna advertise it for us, let everybody know what we're doing. So whoever want to join forces and go along with us on our trip, it's like a kickoff, a pre-kickoff,
Okay, so the
right?
kickoff, and then if we bring the agenda of the rest of the event, then he would share it.
Yeah, like say ours is May 26th. So we just gonna have commercials, like commercials and stuff. He just gonna advertise it doing theirs, advertise it doing another. Somebody might have another one in North Carolina because they have different powwows. And North Carolina wait and say, okay, y'all come on, so we can bless it. Like Mother, the Dr. Lorna say, this is a blessing. The ancestors and the different tribes and the cultures want to know, so they can bless it. This is a blessed period. And then leading up to May 26th, down in Florida, Dr. Lorna Schufert, who's a tribe with a native tribe, and she's with the grandmothers. So we got to get the blessings and the because we done wipe the young folks don't wipe the grandmamas out, the grandpapas out, the chiefs and the grandmamas, because everybody had to go to their elders. So so it's gonna be the kickoff is just gonna be the peace and the blessings on our send off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Aziza and Akili just found out. Aziza's mom, mother-in-law, Keely's mom, they're part Indian as well. And so that's gonna be a great part between them two in Florida. And then we'll head. Chief was saying, well, North Georgia might would have been a good spot, but I found a place in Augusta. Um, Crazy Crow is a Native American here, and where we can have the baseball games. So I think that'll be great because half of the teams can come down and play. But like Dr. Lorna Schufer said, for it to be blessed and everything to be decent in the order, it got to be done by water. When they go to pray to their gods, they always pray by water. If y'all ever notice, like on Little House on the Prairie or the Cowboys and Indians, they always go, that chief, their medicine doctor, always went to that water and start praying. If I tell you what, I'm gonna give y'all a homework. Look at Walker, Texas Ranger. And Washoe, Uncle Ray, when he go back and talk to the ancestors over by the water. And so we gonna have a baseball team. And what I was gonna do is talk with the Atlanta Braves to come down, because they do community stuff like that, since they are the Braves. And then we had the Braves in our Sandlot baseball game. The Sandlot ain't nothing but another name for the minor league, for the Negro League baseball.
The Negro. Mm-hmm.
So I already talked to my players. Yes, we're gonna have some games. We're gonna have the Whitfield Tigers and the teams over here in Augusta. We may do an all-star game, and I did reached out. I'm reaching out, but I did research a name. Now, it puzzled me when I did. They gave us players, our ancestor names. The Tulsa, they call T-Town, Tulsa T-Town. They call T-Town Clowns. And I'm reaching out to them for a baseball game up there and reach for a baseball game and
Tulsa.
another game in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So
Okay, so Mr. Freeman, Mr.
Yeah.
Freeman, okay. So so on May the 2nd, that's a powwow, and so we're not starting till May the 6th. So the
May
kickoff,
26th,
so
right?
we're kicking off, so the kickoff, even though some of us will not be able to make the powwow. So
Right.
that'll be like the kickoff, and then from there, Karen, is that what you were talking about? Since he's doing that in Augusta, Georgia, we can everyone just start off in Florida? Is that what you meant, Karen?
No,
Wait a minute.
so the send off is in Florida.
May
Okay.
26th.
Yeah,
Okay,
on the
26. Or 26.
Yeah.
Not the 6th, the 26th.
Yeah, and then but we're gonna leave from Augusta. So of course, you guys, we're just discussing these timelines as we get things put in place. These things are going to be revisited as far as exactly the timeline. But as far as us just talking about it right now, we were talking about like the send off is Florida, but we're leaving from Augusta.
Well, I think that'd be great too. Because why? Yeah, are y'all still was talking about going through? Y'all just gonna go down the line, right? The Mississippi line, right?
Yeah, I had did a the first we was leaving from Georgia, then going to Tennessee, then North Carolina, Kentucky,
Right.
Illinois, and Missouri on the
Because what?
first day.
Right. So what our security was talking about, maybe if we was talking about leaving from Georgia, like he was saying, since we was going like Kentucky, when you hit what 285 or 278, wherever the one it is over there, it goes like Tennessee, then you can cross over to Kentucky, the Blue Ridge. And then some kind of way it was gonna be all creek, you know. So
Okay,
we
so once
can look
we
at that map
yeah,
again.
so once we solidify all the states, then we can solidify the mapping,
The
right?
best route. Uh-huh.
The back route.
That's
Okay,
gonna connect us.
okay, cool,
Okay.
So we don't want to do all them crooks and turns and we just passed this. Oh, we should you know how folks is. Come on.
Yep. Hey,
Okay.
Lorna, can you hear me, Lorna? You have some questions or some suggestions in chat,
Ye-
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Dr. Schubert.
Dr. Schubert, I'm sorry, Dr. Schubert, Dr.
No
Lorna.
problem.
Okay, so Dr. Schubert, you said I can help. Okay, so you said that, and you were saying something about famous cowboys too. He is a storyteller. Who is that, Dr. Schubert?
That's Cowboy Rufus Thomas. He's out of Atlanta. He's actually in your backyard.
Okay, Dr. Rufus.
Cool.
I'm just making notes.
He's one of the last original historical cowboy, and he's a storyteller. And he's worked along the side in movies and everything. He's from Sammy Davis Jr. to what used to be Prince Chow, now King Chow. He's a lot of experience, and I've put together some Western storytelling programs from him. And he's an exciting aspect of what we do. Some of the Indian nations have called him Most of the cowboys in Atlanta, from Atlanta to Alabama to all over, know him. And he will be a great incentive addition that we are not of indigenous aspect, but the African diaspora was the original cowboy. When they were brought here from the Spaniards, not only were they cowboy, they were culinary artists, because from Africa they knew how to develop a cattle body, a sheep, a ram. So they will also be cooks, and that's something we don't talk about. And as a chef myself, that's something I want to bring to the table: the dietary aspect of our people, how we integrated from um, the Arawaks that we were here for thousands of years to the newfound family or cousin that came over the boat, and how they brought spices and flavors, and which created the cuisine for uh, our southern flavor. And as you know, we have southern flavor where other folks that are not millennium just have bland taste, and they like to go to our little restaurants, and they like to buy our fried chicken, and like to buy our greens, because it's somehow just better. So, and having scraps to eat over these centuries, being disrespected the way they didn't know that they were giving us the essence of the best part, the protein, the calciums, the the nutrients. They don't know that they were actually feeding us to retain and survive, because that's what we actually knew and knew. So the part about the culinary aspect of who we are, whether we're of indigenous land or whether we were brought over, is yet to be told completely. So I want to bring that to the table as well. As far as why Florida, why South Florida, until a trip, folks were brought in, then taken out, and so forth, which leads to the understanding and total realization of Seminole. And some of us do know Seminole means a gathering of entities or people coming together that were brought and changed to another, sort of like migratory. That's what really Seminole means, bring together a group. And it wasn't just a tribe, it was actually a name for a mixture of our indigenous family member. State of Florida, 3 main points. One is city of Miami, where we have the oldest known Katiska Indians there. We have the circle. We must kick or do something. Even if you guys don't come down, we must down here perform something in lieu and kick up to what you're doing and sending the blessing, so that we respect all bound. This is the oldest, most established place actually in the South when it comes to the Florida Peninsula and its engagement with the Caribbeans and the Tainos as well, which I am of Taino descent. And my children are Cherokee Tainos from North Carolina. So it is imperative that we do something with the circle here and other locations. So the next aspect of that is St. Augustine, where our people originally stepped down and end up marrying and bonding. And our people, as well as some of the Haitians, for over 500 years, ended up marrying and bonding and living and having children with our African Americans that were here already, as well as the indigenous community. Fort Myers holds a museum, I don't know how much it has anymore, of the actual lineage photograph of Black Seminoles, of Black indigenous people. When I went in there and I said, they had a lot of seafood, and they had a lot about this, and they had far away in the museum, in a little glass cabinet, they had these photographs. And I was curious, because I was saying, why are those photographs over there? And they say, it's not something people usually look at. And I'm like, wow, I'm a photographer, so I was curious. So I went to see these black and whites. And when I saw them, I almost got to my knees and cried, because they were the image of our heritage. These were black, nose, eye, hair wave, black Indians, Seminole Indians, black. I mean, we were of millennium pronunciation, but yet we were put way in the back because it wasn't that important, and who cared?
Wow.
So I told the creator, I said, oh my. At that time, they were even given away. They didn't really care. And they had some littles, and they were giving some pieces away. And I couldn't, because of what I was doing a judicial thing, because I'm a paralegal. I couldn't take anything with me, because that would have been a conflict of interest with my job, because I stopped there just to relax at lunchtime. So I missed out on that. I don't know if nowadays they still have that. but that will be a very pressing point. What's the other place? Osceola. We have Osceola or Ocala. That's the area where Chief Osceola was. And she was a female, not a he. She pretended to be a he because of Andrew Jackson and all that. And the other ram, she didn't want to get killed or whatever. So she pretended, because the real indigenous leaders or aspects of leadership are the grandmothers, are the women. The men are the hunter, the guardians, the protector. The women are the ones to establish the laws and norms, and even sometimes the medicine and the herbs, and they grow the herbs and the spices. And we're overlooked because Hollywood, we're not brought to, because Hollywood is a man's world. So you wouldn't show that a woman has any credentials, right? Other than you see her sewing something or cleaning the buffalo skin or making the moccasins or feeding the babies. And that was the greatest mistake ever. So one of the things that I want to rectify will be my privilege and honor sidebar and this relatory event is to rectify, like my brother here mentioned, you know, what do you call it? Zorro and all that. Zorro's sidekick, as we know, was called what? Anybody remember his sidekick name?
Oh, what was the question, Dr. Schufer?
Excuse me, the Lone Ranger sidekick. Do you know his name?
Tonto.
I want you to say that word again.
Uh-oh. Am I saying
Really
it wrong, Dr. Schufer?
No. I just want you to say it.
Tonto. Tonto.
Okay. Do you know what Tonto means?
Nope.
No.
Black.
Stupid. Come here.
Oh,
Get stupid. You're my assistant. Stupid that. Listen, you know that three Mexicans were here. And the Mexicans that were here were blacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Indians look kind of not what we assume, like Eskimo, whatever. And so one of the things I want to correct in Hollywood and in history. Hello? Did I cut you guys off? No.
We're here.
oh.
Oh, okay, no, 'cause
Yes. I just looked
Yeah.
up Tonto means crazy or wow.
stupid. It was in
Oh
Spanish.
my
But
God.
we didn't know. We didn't know. We were not taught Spanish. We wouldn't know. But to the Mexicans, they never supported that show. Just like
Oh,
my
wow.
brother Bruce. So I want to wake up the world, and I want an apology, and I want a correction, because that man wasn't stupid. That man that played the role was a very, very, I think to some extent, he was
Right.
a prince. Yes, he was a very, and he rose up and fought for blacks and Indians and other minorities later on when Hollywood kicked them out. But one of the things that I want to correct that we didn't know, we thought it was cute and funny, everybody's being tonto and this, we were being offensive to ourselves because we didn't know any better. That's why it's so important to teach our kids different languages or to listen to other languages, because in knowledge is what strength, and we save ourselves. So for years, since I was a little girl, my dad would be mad. My dad loved the show, and he's, why are we being called stupid? And I would look at my dad and say, no, papi, that's not stupid, that's tonto. He said, hello, mira, chica, because I'm black Cuban. I'm Cuban, Jamaican, Filipino, Taino, whatever you want to be. As long as it's a good meal, I make it for you. But the thing is that we've been calling and being brave and having our little kids, and when we were kids, dressed up as tonto. And the people are looking at us and saying, you silly fool, you don't know what you're doing. And the disrespect. So one of the things I want to do, and the gentleman passed, they even had Italian. The guy, I don't know if you remember when you were young, you saw the Indian guy crying with a tear coming down his eye, riding the horse because of tobacco and pollution and all.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
That Indian guy did a lot of movies, and you see him in a commercial. He did Marlboro commercial cigarettes, and then he did the pollution cigarette where he's on his horse.
Oh, yes. I remember him. What about him?
And at the end, he got that. Okay, that guy was Italian. That was an Italian guy playing.
No.
Yes, and then before he died, he let the world know, how Indians and other culture are misrepresented, mistreated, like the Chinese or the black. Where these white folks used to put on black shoe polish or paint, and because they didn't want to pay the blacks and they wanted to do things their way and they want to ridicule them, because a lot of people wouldn't stand for that. So they would pretend to be us. So most of the blacks or the Indians that we saw were either Italian or other things. So we don't know the real history about us in Hollywood until it's shaken.
Yes,
I just want to.
and you know what, Dr. Shuford, I know Mother Raheemah, I know that's why she wants to have that education piece. So we would
Yes,
definitely get with you so we can get that, for, lack of timing and everybody's timing, but I would sure like to get with you so I can learn more. There's a word that I do not like, and that's picnic. And a lot of people don't understand picnic. And picnic is pick a nigga to hang. But see, they don't know that. This was back in the Jim Crow era, picnic. They did it every Friday. They thought it was funny. And I don't even, we say barbecue down here. We don't even say picnic because we know exactly what picnic means. But a lot of people do not know that.
Yeah, it means
So,
pick a nigger day. Pick a
yes,
day.
well,
ma'am.
let me say something.
Yes, yes,
As
yes.
an
So,
educator, excuse me, as an educator,
Yes.
I
And
come from
excuse me before you go on, Dr. Shuford.
Yes.
Can you tell everybody about the Convoy of Hope and the grandmothers?
Oh, yeah. Okay, Convoy of Hope is a program that I didn't really originally help bring it to Florida. They were coming to Florida, but they didn't know how to put together. I'm an event coordinator. I do major street festivals and all that. So I was called in by Curly House, Miss Laverne, who has a nonprofit organization that feeds people in the community, especially singers. And this was after the hurricane, I think, after Hurricane Wilma, something like that. It was after hurricane. And I helped put together, like in many major events that you heard of, they kind of, I've been behind most of the coordinating from Afro Condo to street festivals or Palacan or whatever. So we put, they brought together this agency, but they did not know how really entice them to come down or what to put together. So they brought me in. I put together the Convoy of program, and what they did is they brought different 18-wheelers, and they would be packed with farmers. They would go through all the farmland, the farmers would give their surplus, and then these trucks would come in and disperse them in the community. So it was called Convoy of Hope. And then when they were done here, I make sure that, I had been in Louisiana helping out because I had my organization in Louisiana too, East Orleans and all that, Lower Ninth Wall and all that. And I made sure that Convoy of Hope went from here to over there, because over there I did a lot of some work, and the councilwoman actually gave me a $60,000 grant. And being from South Florida, I don't want to be the person that walked into Dodge and took the money and did whatever I wanted there. What I did is I told the councilwoman, please do not deliver that to my agency, which I was registered legally. Give it to the ministry over there. So there was a place called the Cathedral, and it was near where I lived, where we had our house. And I said, you need to spread this out between the cathedrals and other African American ministry and let them work with this, because I'm here, but I'm new in town. It wouldn't look right that I come and step in and take this money that I knew how to get, to some extent deserved having. It wasn't me. I wasn't the community leader. I didn't want to disrespect. So what I'm saying is I have a lot of information. I also ran the longest and largest food feeding giveaway during Corona here in South Florida. I coordinated that event with another agency that received it, and again, didn't know how to do the distribution. They called me in, and we had the longest and largest food distribution in South Florida. I have a little video that I did and stuff I can share later. So anything we need when it comes to that, let me know. I know how to deal with purveyors to donate, the stores and how to provide.
did you start this in 1994? I was looking at, it's a faith-based humanitarian organization delivering compassion and practical aid since 1994.
No, no, no. I had another organization. No, I'm usually calling to coordinate events to put together. Convoy of came after Hurricane Wilma. I think
Okay. All right, that one
but,
right there.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I send them when they finish here. I send them to Louisiana. But
Okay.
no, I've been involved in just about every major organization or ministry down here. Almost everybody knows me. I was the vice president of MLK, and then the chairperson of MLK festivity, not the parade, but the festivity, but I also was involved in the homestead and with Dr. Marshall, who passed. So everybody knows me.
Okay. Hey, so Dr. Shuford, we definitely need to get with you. But I'll definitely get with you. Karen, were you gonna say something before I turn it over to Mother Raheemah?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think I was trying to say something.
Okay, go ahead, Mother Rahima.
Okay,
Sorry.
I wanted, no, it's quite right. That was
Fine.
great. We
You're
needed
fine.
that. But I want to emphasize three major things. Number one, whether it's called a kickoff or a release or whatever it's called, that's minor. We want to have not only one word, but we want to have two words. We want to have an Indian word. If it's a kickoff, I'm sure they have a word for it. If it's whatever they call when they, I know it's not the powwow, but when they get the okay, we need a word for that, and we need an Indian word for that, because our people need to learn culture, just like the Tonto thing she just told us about, and the picnic thing we just talked about. So we want to have, so don't get hung up on whether it's a kickoff or whatever. We'll come up with that word. The main thing I want to make sure that we have today is that we're going to, number one, start in um, we're going to start in, I think, South Carolina, maybe with that powwow. But there will be other powwows or whatever going on. So the whole month, if somebody has one every day up until the time the convoys releases, we want to be able to put that on the calendar so people can go to the one that's closest to them.
Okay.
That's one thing. Number two, we want to pull in every state the media. I don't know how Dr. Schuper gets her information out, but we want to make sure that the radio stations announce this. Whatever's going on, we want to make sure Mr. Freeman has the names and numbers of all these radio stations. So, the black ones at least. So, we want to be able to get that out, give them an Indian word to also go along with that. And also, it was another thing that was important for us to remember too. But anyway, getting back to Dr. Schubert, though, when we get ready to leave, Dr. Schubert, since you have a connection with a lot of food, it might be that some of the staples could be brought over on the bus to Tulsa to feed the people here in Tulsa. And not only that, you have a Louisiana connection. So your convoy in Louisiana, there will be people coming up from Louisiana. Sister Turner will be Angela Turner will be coming up from Augusta from Louisiana. She's the state director for the state of Louisiana, and they could be bringing some of this so that we won't have we'll be able to get the decent food that we need. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to be growing, I guess it'll be nightshades, because, well, no, it doesn't have to be nightshades. I'm thinking about another event. We're going to teach our children how to plant. There's going to be a space. Let me also announce this. Miss Billy Parker, who is the treasurer for the Black Wall Street USA in Oklahoma, will not be in town. Now she is the one who really got the mindset going in Tulsa about um, uh, being Afro-centered, an Afrocentric kind of mindset, selling all kinds of herbs and spices and authentic clothes from Ghana and wherever. However, her family is having a reunion down in Houston, so her place won't even be open. So I'm trying to find out if we can fly her back here just for one day to open up to do her thing on her grounds. That would be great. So if you can figure that into the budget, that would be great. But what we want to do right now, next week, we want to, God willing, we want to firm up the first, second, and third spots where we will be going. Now, what is going to be happening with Dr. Nelson? Chief Nelson is not a part of the tour. The tour is going to begin like the 24th or somewhere between that Sunday and that Wednesday, Sunday and Wednesday. That's the travel time. But anything before the 20th that's happening in any one of those three states, this is Black Wall History Global History Month. So we want to share that. Anything that the indigenous people are doing, we want to share that. And I think, Dr. Schuper, you and I talked about connecting with the Osage Casino and Hotel. We need a connection there because we want to be able to set aside a certain number of rooms for people, and maybe we'll be able to, get a discount. I don't know, but that's a private thing. I'll get with you about that. But what we want to do first, second, and third is nail down the first three, the locations that'll be happening in Florida and in Georgia. And maybe in North Carolina. We want to nail that down so we'll know that we have nothing speculating. Everything needs to be, we need to vote on this like next week, God willing, and which reminds me the meeting will be at 6 instead of 8:30. So so we want to be able to, so we can get a good send off. If our send off it's going to generate more information. So we want to be able to do that. Now that we're running out of time, so does anybody want to add anything else? Dr. Schubert, do you have a comment, or did something else come to mind? So,
Yeah, real quick, two things. I would like to invite my friend. He does judicial briefing, and I give him a lot of information about the indigenous, and he's doing all kinds of things. So I would like to see if I can send that to my brother Law Dog, and then he can send all that information to you guys so you can get a better insight of history. Second of all, I put together, we were the first agency to put together the Miami Justice and Peace Powwow. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to bring that back and kick it off, since it's a historic event that I did for 3 years to help prevent the killing of our kids and our indigenous community devastation.
wow.
So I want to share that with you guys and add it to that piece, so that we already have something historical involved. We're not just inventing the wheel down here.
Okay.
And
Amazing.
then
So-
not only that, excuse me, Mama.
Sure.
Dr. Lorna, they was talking about at the beginning, how when y'all be on the grounds and stuff, do y'all for the tents, like a family tent, an individual tent, a man tent, and the female tent? Like,
Yes.
how did y'all,
Well, what happened is, back today, we're gonna have a series of events. One of the problems that we're having here is the Everglades Alcatraz, alligator, whatever you want to call it, and they did it over our sacred grounds when we gathered things like that. So they're thinking of putting tents there and building them. They're going to do it every weekend. They're going to let the media know what they're going out to either move or do something, because that's sacred ground. So what I could do is I could put a game plan together from that perspective. Whatever you guys need, I have a lot of templates. I do a lot of events. I have the mindset. If you need me to put together some package or a certain thing, sponsorship, whatever, I can gather that. I can put that together, and just be your blueprint backup person.
For Florida, Miami.
For the whole thing, if you need me to, whatever you need to. I have people everywhere. So I'm not just talking about what I want to contribute or our agency is going to contribute. I'm talking about the overall aesthetic of what you're doing. I told already my brother here, whatever he needs over there, I'm supposed to go up there too and powwow with him and see. As a grandmother, I'm an ambassador internationally, and I'm going to bring I already spoke to all the grandmothers. They're interested in supporting and doing hosting here, or even going with you guys. So we have a lot of support already in place from my end.
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
great. And so with the letter that Ms. Reese has and you have, Ms. Moreland, if you could give that to her and let her take a look-see at it, because that's the basic information. Once you finish with the AI or whatever you all are doing, and send it to Dr. Schubert and let her take a look at it. Those letters, like the introduction, we want to introduce, and we want to put a funding letter out, because she'll tighten it. She can tighten it up for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'll put
ma'am.
my email in the chat if you guys want anyone. My phone number in the email. You don't mind sharing me, right? I don't want to get in trouble.
Go ahead.
Oh no, that's fine.
You the one. You the Vengeance Queen.
Yes,
Right.
please share. Please
That's
share.
right, because see, you have a lot of activities going on in May, and we just want the people to know about this. We want to advertise it and make sure everyone knows, so they can become a part of it for the whole month. This doesn't have anything to do with the trail. It's just about getting the information out to build up interest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ma'am, as soon as you guys draft the first, see what I usually do is call a teaser flyer with to everything to be determined, but the name and the information, a brief little flyer, and we toss that at the minute we start with this, because we have to get sponsors on board. And we like the
Right.
month of July and August is when sponsors start preparing for next year, all the events. So
Mm-hmm.
now we need to ask. We need to ask 2 quarters away. We're 2
Right.
quarters away.
So can we get this? Can we get this to Dr. Schubert this week, Miss Moreland and Miss Reese?
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
great.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
and
Are
she'll
you
tell
adding
you.
your information? I have Karen's information. Are you adding yours to the chat, Dr.
Yes,
Schubert?
I am. I am right this man.
Perfect. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
that's
I'll
good.
get it to her. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so then you all can come up with a name, or you can just put a name and put it in parentheses, whatever, whatever we're going to call it. The release, the kickoff. I mean, the kickoff it could be any one of those 3 states. It depends on what you all are doing. I mean, what name you come up with. So I think she can help us with those names. That would be really great.
Yeah, and I think the first name you have to use is aho. Aho is a universal. It's like greetings, love, peace to
Spell
you.
it.
We say aho. At the end, we say aho. So that's something you guys need to learn automatically. Anybody in the indigenous community is going to salute.
We only know ahoy that the sailors use. So how do you spell you?
No, ours is aho. Aho.
Spell it.
I'm gonna spell it here. Let me spell it here. It's very
Okay.
simple. You see, words. I was just trying to say something to you guys. For us
Right.
in Jamaica, the word picnic means child, loving. It's a loving child. So wherever you go, words mean different things.
Oh,
So
pickaninny. Yeah, we used to call our little children pickaninnies. Yep.
yeah, well, we call
Little
it
pickaninny.
okay. And then also let me put my phone number and my email.
So while she's doing that, Mother Raheemah,
Yes.
so there are a couple of things follow up next week. I know you were talking about saying something about buses. You want us to know name of some buses. Also, yeah. So next week, 1 through 3 spots: Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, wherever buses. And then you were talking about we will also need budgets and tickets and packages, prices and things like that, right?
Yeah,
With
we're going to
Dr.
have
Little and Karen on that.
Yeah, I think Dr. Schubert, since she's done this before, we also have Mr. I think Anthony White, who was, I don't know if he called me yesterday or not. I don't remember seeing his number, but he was supposed to be part of that funding committee or finance committee or whatever you want to call it. But we definitely need to have
Where is
some
he
funding.
from, Sister Raheemah? Anthony White, where is he from?
Do you remember Mr. Freeman?
Anthony
No,
White.
Dr. Little, do you remember the Anthony White? I don't have my notes on that.
I don't know who Anthony White
Okay,
is.
he was the one that was talking about the credit union. He had access to a credit union.
He's in Florida, the Southwest region.
Southwest Florida. Okay. Well, I'll
He's
get in
in
touch with
Florida.
him.
He's down there.
Okay. So if you get,
Jacksonville.
he's in where?
Jacksonville.
He's in Jacksonville. Okay. All right. So Dr. Schubert, you're going to help us with the food supply and Miss what is it, cornbread? The cornbread lady. What do you call the book?
Dewey Wilkins.
Miss Wilkins. Yeah, she's going to be helping to set up the staff for the cooking.
Yeah, put the grills on there because since they did everything cowboy style.
Well, yeah. Well, I think we can probably just do that wherever we are in Florida. I don't think we have to bring lug grills all the way out here, but just unless
it's not grills. You remember she said put the brick, the cement block.
Right.
And
right.
she just put the fire up under there and
right.
that long grill like top.
Yeah, we have to learn how to improvise. Our children have to learn how to improvise because we don't know we don't know what's happening. We don't know what the Most High is going to do and when He's going to do it. So we have to learn how to improvise.
What's her name, Mother Raheemah? What's her name? The food?
Which one? The one who did the book.
You can't read anything.
Mr. Freeman has it. Miss Wilkins.
Ms.
Buena,
Wilkins.
God,
Buena Wilton.
Rita Wilkins. Okay, thanks.
So, Sister Raheemah, you was saying that Sister Parker was not going to be in Tulsa doing that weekend.
No, we might have to fly her. She's going down to Houston for her family's having a family reunion down there, and she's driving down and taking her dad. But I asked her yesterday, was it possible if she could just fly back and open up for one day and then go back to her family because they're going to be there a whole week, and she might want to come up and open her store and open up her garden. So I mean, we have another space that we can use, a rec center that they have a community garden as well. We have a couple of community gardens in North Tulsa, but her place is really where it all got started when in making people aware of their culture.
Yeah, her
And so,
place was going to be perfect because it's
right,
kind of secluded and
right,
we don't have to worry about, cars driving by.
right.
It's so we might is a possibility that we could rent her space, especially because I'm not sure how
No,
big it is. On
no, no, that wouldn't work because what we want to do, we want to emphasize it's like a country store on the inside, and we want to emphasize that, but we don't, she doesn't, nobody else is responsible for that but her. So
Yeah, I'm not talking about the
her
store, but I'm
grounds,
talking about her land that's
no,
right
but her
there.
grounds could be her grounds could be reproduced in other places. It's not, that's not hard to do. Actually, there's another a man, Dr. Clark, who has who I heard he sells the eggs for $2 a dozen. He left he started a high school, and they squeezed him out of it, and he couldn't, he had to give it up. But he went into drama downtown. Then he decided he's going to go on and do things on his farm, and he's selling chickens and all kinds of stuff. So we hope that. We hope that he will be a part of it. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but because Billy Parker was the main one, because she knows everybody. So if we can get her to fly back here, she would be willing to do it if she could get the flight arrangements to fly back here for a day, spend a night and open up and just have, where the dance or the dinner or whatever at her place. Also, I wanted her to head we want to have a VIP dance at the Big Ten, which is an historical site where all the stars used to come in before integration. They would come in and entertain, then they have to go stay at somebody's house because they couldn't get into the local hotels. So we want to. That place has been remodeled and it's beautiful. Just about 4 or 5 years ago, and Billy's been having her annual Black Wall Street event there every year. So I wanted her to head that because she's so familiar with it. But I don't know. I don't know, what she's gonna how. I don't know if we can get her to fly back here. She'll do it if we can get the flight arrangements for her to come back, and then she can go back to Houston and drive back with her dad.
So anything
Um,
go ahead. Who's talking?
I'm sorry. I might have one of my indigenous, she may have the opportunity to maybe provide very low or maybe even a sponsorship flight for that because he has a connection with airline.
Great.
So I'm gonna talk to him if you guys want to. All I need is somebody to give me some letterhead from one of you guys asking my
Okay.
organization for that favor.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get the date. Usually she has a date on Wednesdays where she has, families come in and she teaches them how, well, they've already planted their food and they can they help. And also she works with the Langston University Extension course. They come in and they assist her, they're rebuilding her hoop house and all that. Actually, they've enlarged it. So I will talk to her, and if we can make the flight arrangements, that would be great. So that would definitely be on the Wednesday because that's her day to go into the garden, and
Yeah,
then people
just
can
make
also,
sure.
yeah, Wednesday evenings. That it's Wednesday evenings that she does that.
Anything else in closing, Mother Raheem?
Well, I don't have anything else. Is there anyone else who want to quickly say anything? We've reached the top of the hour. Or actually, we
Yeah.
passed the top of the hour.
Yeah.
been so
Karen, you have anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, we thank you, Dr. Schuper, for all that. And
Yes.
I'll just say to all of you, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another.
Yes,
Amen.
yes, yes. Dr. Little, you good?
Yes, I am.
All righty. Thank you for that.
Thanks
Sir,
for sharing, everyone.
nice to meet you.
Attention, I'd like to make sure that your seatbelts are fastened.
Support the Black Wall Street USA movement for the next 300 years. We establish Black Wall Street districts around the globe in the spirit of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. This movement is about God, our ancestors, and future generations. Your supporting membership will further show you are willing to perform the same ground paving efforts for generations we will never meet. Visit blackwallstreet.org/join and keep the movement moving.